What's up, folks? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review MGK's breakout mixtape, uh, Rage Pack. Now, this is one of the ones that helped catapult him to the forefront. It had a handful of his hits off there, like Wild Boy and Half Naked and Almost Famous. And then some of those wound up on his Half Naked and Almost Famous EP. But he essentially re released these songs that he did in 2011 like three different times in some cases. But this is still the mixtape that basically started catching attention, and this is where he started to be affiliated with Puff Daddy's Bad Boy label, which he has been ever since. That's kind of the thing. I mean, you look at it, and MGK has kind of had a nice showing. But when I reflect on this particular project, I mean, it's kind of a taste of what he would do in the future. Maybe not up to like Bloom and Binge and Hotel Diablo, but definitely between like 2011 and probably somewhere in 2015, this was what MGK was up to. Minus the house tracks, minus the EDM and house tracks, he did some of that. He kind of did some of like the LMFAO and Pitbull and Lil Jon type stuff. Those type guys, 303, those type people. So there's the alcohol reference. It feels like you should be drunk listening to this project, and that's kind of the main thing there. That was a theme in 2011. There was a lot of okay, let's go out to a dance club. Let's go out on a Friday night. I mean, that's still kind of there, but the alcohol theme was a lot more prevalent back in those days. You think of songs like Shots by Lil Jon and Sorry for Party Rocking and some of those type songs. The Pitbull, there's, Usher's song that he did with Pitbull, all those different songs that came out around that time. But MGK kind of had a taste of that. But honestly, I like when I talk about the stuff that he was doing in 2011, I like his taste of what had happened more than the actual EDM songs. I feel like some of these you could really black out and get completely fucked up to, but those were honestly not my favorite. So the one song that charted off this project was the song Wild Boy, and this has been on 3 of MGK's projects. I'm not sure if there were any other singles just because there's not really a Wikipedia for this mixtape. It did get over 100,000 downloads on the website DatPiff, which is a coveted rap website for mixtapes. But Wild Boy charted pretty well, and the fact that that song actually came out in late 2011 is a little bit different. I mean, the fact that when it was on Lace Up came out in October of 2012, and then his Half Naked and Almost Famous EP came out in March of 2012. So it was on all 3 of those projects, but you can get it for free if that is so your desire. You can get it for free on this Rage Pack project. And then there's actually a couple other projects that were also on Half Naked and Almost Famous, which I just kind of felt there's really no reason to buy Half Naked and Almost Famous. I reviewed that last year just because I liked the completionist thing of talking about MGK, but it's really, I mean, if there would have been at least one song that was not on any other project, but every other song that you find, those 5 or 6 songs that are on that, you can find either on this Rage Pack album or mixtape, or you can find on Lace Up the album. So there's just, you can just kind of nix that whole project. But Half Naked and Almost Famous and Warning Shot were also on the EP. And both of those are stellar tracks. I don't remember liking Warning Shot when I reviewed Half Naked last year, but I like it now. That's kind of thing. I mean, every single one of the songs damn near on this project is a night out. I mean, MGK knew that, and that's kind of why I like Rage Pack more than I like Lace Up. I mean, even though Lace Up is more official and had probably better budget and promotion, I feel like Rage Pack was kind of street MGK, but also to the the courtesy of trying to get messed up with the right mentality. So it just had the right edge to it, and he didn't go quite commercial. There's no stereo song on here or Invincible song on here, that sort of stuff. It's just mostly songs like Wild Boy and Warning Shot, which is 2 of the best moments. So really the only complaints I have about this project is going to get a rather high score is just a couple of bad samples like STFU, Shut the Fuck Up, and Chasing Pavements, The Pledge, and Thought I Was Gone, Hello. I mean, I think MGK was kind of going for some like completion in terms of what he was doing, just to kind of show that he could do an album. But it's called Rage Pack, and those happen to be the most attentive ones. So most of the time on a free mixtape, you only pick out maybe 4, 5, 6 or so songs out of 15. But this actually had a lot of selection on here, and that's kind of the thing. I mean, you might as well pick up Lace Up, the album. There's no reason to get that, but Rage Pack has a nice taste of some stuff to get as well. So out of 11 songs, because one of which is the Morning After voicemail, which is basically Puff Daddy kind of being halfway pissed off at MGK. I mean, he wants to join up with those guys and party with them later on, but he was kind of pissed off that they like ruined his $75,000 couch and stuff. So it's a nice little skit there, just to kind of see what Puff was up to back in those days. But all right, so I'm going to list the songs to you that I recommend. So out of 11 songs, I recommend like 7, so I'll list them. So Wild Boy, of course, that's still a hit. Half Naked and Almost Famous, Warning Shot, LTFU, which I think stands for Lit the Fuck Up, Welcome to the Rage, Fantasy, and On Fire, Drug Dealer Girl Part 2. So all of those really do it. And then I would say the Morning After voicemail is a really nice skit. I like that one too. So that's basically 8 out of 12 on there. So there's only 4 songs I didn't enjoy, but that's 2/3 of the project that's recommended. And especially for one thing, the fact that it's free. And just on top of that, the fact that there was a charting single and he made enough buzz for himself, that results in a successful mixtape. I mean, the fact that it's 9 years old, most people already tell you, well, no shit, Sherlock. But whole damn thing is to uncover this project and kind of remember it. It's like, oh yeah, I used to get drunk to these songs. It's kind of the point. It's kind of the main thing. So I feel like besides the songs that were on Half Naked and Almost Famous, I would also have to say that just some unique to Rage Pack songs that are recommended. I would have to say like Welcome to the Rage is probably the most, that's where things get cranked up the most. And then I really like the kind of off-key feel of On Fire, uh, Drug Dealer Girl. So that one was a good one. That's kind of like his song for the ladies that's not just quite social and club oriented. So I like that. And Lit the Fuck Up is nice. I mean, it's not quite as lit as the song might intend, but I do appreciate that one. It just felt like it's just another night in the books, you know. As far as that goes, it should feel just like that. So, but obviously, this mixtape might not have as much damage without Wild Boy and the songs that were on Half Naked and Almost Famous. But regardless of that, I simply recommend downloading this mixtape. You're bound to find something. If you like to get drunk and you miss the way that 2011 felt, and I mean, even some of these are decent little car numbers when getting ready to go to the club and just having your own house party or something like that. I mean, a lot of these stand up. They may not cause as much damage as they did 9 years ago, but I think it's a nice trip down memory lane. So I would have to say I give this mixtape like a 7 out of 10. Me liking 7 out of 12 songs, or 7 out of 11. That's basically a 7. I mean, I could give it a higher score, but some of these songs were on Lace Up and the other EP, so this is it's kind of the main thing. So obviously, no matter what, you're gonna find some of these songs. So this is kind of a question. I'm more kind of miffed about Half Naked and Almost Famous EP more so than this project, because this was the breakout where this kind of kicked off like MGK's rollout. So it's kind of the thing there. But the social score gets like a 6 or a 5. We'll give the social score a 5 just because it only had one single. It probably could have pushed a little bit more. I don't know how many music videos came out, but I could at least say that the Wild Boy song is a hit, and that's a really exciting song, even 9 years later after hearing it, or after it coming out. So it works for what it is. And yeah, I'm just trying to think of how else to wrap this up. So yeah, so I give this album 7 out of 10, 5 social. Social score means how well it plays around your circle and your friends and that sort of thing, if you're introducing that to them. So subscribe for more fun, MGK.